I'm going to show you how to install Wildfire Defense Mesh onto a roof vent. This is a common roof vent that can be found in California. It's an off-ridge vent, and so it's one of the trickier ones to access because it's on top of your roof. You may want to hire a professional. Feel free to reach out to us at shearmanbuilders.com. So what we're going to do first is measure our opening. We've got 19.5 by 3.5, 3.25, and we're going to add 2 inches on either side to make it easy to fasten to the surface. So right here I have the 7.5 inch roll. Now, Wildfire Defense Mesh comes in 7.5 inch, 24 inch, 36 inch, 49 inch, and 60 inch rolls. Depending on what surface you're covering, you'll have to choose the right size for your job. So the nice thing about the packaging that this comes in, it's a sturdy cardboard cylinder that you can repackage in after you've cut and installed your mesh to avoid spooling. It's a great little storage container. And then I'm just going to cut right along the line of the mesh, avoiding any sort of deviations so that we get a nice clean edge to work with. This also prevents any fraying from happening. So let's get this back into its handy storage container. Look at that. Now, we're going to bend in 2 different directions for our roof vents. On the bottom, we're going to attach through the metal flashing to the roof itself. When you get up on your roof, you'll see the roofing is going to come, the material is going to come right up to these edges here. So when we're fastening on the lower side, we're going to use sheet metal screws that have a rubber gasket on them. Now that's going to create a watertight seal so there's no worry for water intrusion in your roof. Now to bend this at home, we're going to do, again, our space is 3.5 inches, so with our 7.5 inch roll here, we can just use the whole shape of it and bend it in a bit. So I'm going to do 2 inches on the bottom, 1, 2, 3.5, and 2.5 on the top, or 2 and 2 and 2. So here's my mark. So I'm just using a stiff edge to bend on. Not everybody has metal benders at home. So this is showing you how you could do this yourself. And again, I'm following that line of the weave of the mesh so that I get a nice straight line all the way across. I'm going to go ahead and overfold that a little bit because our angle of our vent is a little overextended. So I'm lining up here, and because this is on your roof, no one sees it, you don't have to worry too much about what it looks like. So I'm just going to come through and snip. At this edge, I guess we'll go this way. And I want to do all my cuts before I start attaching, because as soon as I start attaching, I won't have access to the full form of the mesh. Okay, and I'm going to do 2 more cuts just on these creases here, the same length that I just did. Now these are just regular tin snips. You can get them at any hardware store. Okay. So now we've got our grooves all cut. We can go ahead and pre-bend these. It's going to bend around the side there. This one's going to bend around this side. And by over bending it and then bending it back, you get a nice sharp corner. I'm going to over bend and then bend it back to get that nice sharp corner. I'm going to do the same thing with the full length, and I'm just actually going to use the vent to help me bend it up. Okay. So now you can see we have a nice tight fit here, and all we need is a few sheet metal screws to attach it. So I'm going to start with my corners. And I've given myself enough overlap here that I'm not too worried about the connection points. I have some play. Since we have so much overlap here, it'd be very difficult for an ember to get in between that. Now it's almost good enough the way it is. I'm going to put a few screws going down into what would be the roof on your house. And that does it. If you need help with installation, if it's a little bit over your head or you want things to be a little bit more manicured, reach out to us at our website, shearmanbuilders.com, and check out wildfiredefensemesh.com for more ideas of how you can protect your home from wildfire.